I mean, what an amazing project to be involved with.
Crazy.
When you look at George Lucas, and I was reading up on Roger Ebert's review of Return of the Jedi, and it's like he was crazy to think that he could make 9 movies. Like, do you ever go into a project and think that it has that much legs, you know, that it could go?
You know, I think you have to take everything one step at a time. Having been involved in television as well, it is a leap of faith to think that any story you're telling is either worth continuing or that it has enough fuel in the tank to go, in the case of TV, 5, 7, 9 seasons or whatever it is.
Yeah.
In the case of Star Wars, you know, I know everyone feels like it was this sort of thing that was written, it was always inevitably going to be all these stories, but the truth is that you know, the first Star Wars movie that was made, it was so powerful, and there was so much going on beyond the borders of what you saw. But I'm not sure how much it was clear. You know, there was no written thing that there would be this extended universe. There was no. Yeah. It wasn't known as much as George knew what he wanted to do. He couldn't have possibly imagined what was going to be created in the novels and in the comics and in the graphic novels and in the animated series. I mean, this thing that he made, yeah, it was like he tapped into something that had more water pressure than he could have ever imagined, you know?
Yeah. And when you wrote the script, because I mean, I'm really intrigued by, you know, penning this script, and I'm not sure what they did to get into their heads to make, you know, the Empire 4 through 6. But did you have to, like, I guess, get world politics into it? Did you have to look at what's going on in the world to project what's going on in this future, or was it just about the story that
in writing the script with Lawrence Kasdan, who wrote Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, I had as a partner in this someone who not only created Yoda and wrote some of the greatest lines that Han Solo ever said, but he was there and then has been living with that world for decades. Yeah. And so I had someone at my side who was able to talk to what he believed happened to this world and happened with these characters. The story that mattered, though, were these new characters. And so it wasn't so much about saying, all right, let's stop and figure out what the allegory is and let's look at what the real world politics is. It was about saying, we are aware of the world in which we live. Yeah. We know what this is. What's a relevant story? Not a Star Wars story, but what's a relevant story? And let's talk about that with these characters. And we knew if we told a story that was meaningful to us about characters, it would be because it fits into something that felt right for the moment and could live in this world that we were telling the story in.
Who's your Yoda or Obi-Wan Kenobi? Like, is it
me in my life?
Yeah.
Well, I would say that Steven Spielberg has become a mentor to me and a confidant and friend in a way that is more meaningful than I can describe. And there have been people along the way on this project, like Lawrence Kasdan, who were, you know, a little bit older and a lot wiser, and people that have taught me enormous amounts. And then, of course, John Williams, who wrote the music yet again for this movie, and is, I think, for Steven and Lawrence Kasdan and so many of us, a kind of icon and deep, wonderful, kind soul, as well as maybe the most talented man on the planet.
Thanks for inspiring the next generation.
Oh, cheers, man. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you.